Available now. Link below.
In tonight's report, we dive into a story that's shaking the very foundations of our republic. Newly released court documents have unveiled a truth so concerning it has citizens and lawmakers alike whispering about the 25th Amendment. President Biden, once a stalwart figure, now appears enshrouded in a fog of unfitness, unable to carry the mantle of leadership. But that's not all. Lurking in the shadows is Kamala Harris, ready to ascend the presidency. With the 2024 election on the horizon, the urgency couldn't be greater. We've got the video clips, the documents, the explosive revelations that every American needs to see. This isn't just news. It's a wake-up call to the nation. So why does this matter? We'll stick around for the final thought, where it all comes together. You don't want to miss this critical briefing as we lay bare the challenges facing our great republic. And before we dive deeper into tonight's bombshell report, a quick word from our sponsors who make this critical journalism possible. Picture this, you're at a crossroads, much like our nation today. The path you choose can secure your future or leave you in uncertainty. And that's where the Patriot Gold Group comes in. As we navigate these turbulent times with classified documents surfacing and questions about leadership stability, isn't it time to consider safeguarding your retirement? Think of it as protecting your financial future from the unpredictability swirling around us, much like ensuring our nation's leadership is stable and secure. Don't leave your future to chance in these uncertain times. Call the Patriot Gold Group at 888-857-9437 for your free investor guide. Remember, it's not just about weathering the storm, it's about emerging stronger, just like America must. Call that number, 888-857-9437 now, and take the first step towards securing your financial future, and mention Next News for best-in-class service. Now, in a turn of events that can only be described as seismic, the release of court documents has thrown President Biden's capability to lead into serious doubt. Revelations from these documents suggest a scenario that many would have considered unthinkable just a short while ago. And according to a special counsel probe, it appears that President Biden willfully retained classified material post-vice presidency. The gravity of the situation can't be overstated. Even mainstream media outlets, often seen as friendly to the current administration, couldn't ignore the magnitude of this news. MSNBC, in a surprising pivot, laid bare the findings, acknowledging the potential peril to national security. Take a look.
We have breaking news, major news. Special counsel Robert Hur has declined to prosecute President Biden for his handling of classified documents. Forgive me, I'm reading directly from our top lines. He said Biden's practices, though, present serious risks to national security, and added that President Biden portrayed himself as an elderly man with a poor memory who would be sympathetic to a jury. Quote, our investigation uncovered evidence that President Biden willfully retained and disclosed classified materials after his vice presidency when he was a private citizen, the report said. But the evidence does not establish Mr. Biden's guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. Again, this is the special counsel investigation by Robert Hur, who was confirmed under Donald Trump, into President Biden's handling of classified documents.
Now, what's even more alarming is the reasoning behind the decision not to charge Biden. The special counsel, Robert Hur, cited Biden's age and cognitive issues as significant factors, specifically citing he did not remember when he was vice president. The documents spell out in black and white that Joe Biden is an elderly man with poor memory. This isn't just about classified documents. It's a stark revelation about the president's fitness for office. The implications are profound, not just for domestic affairs, but for the global perception of American leadership. And the details are damning. Biden's memory, as described in the report, was significantly limited. This isn't minor forgetfulness. We're talking about a man who couldn't recall key dates from his own life, including the end of his vice presidency and, most heartbreakingly, the year his son Beau passed away. Even CNN couldn't hide it. Watch.
But I think there is also a potentially very damaging political headline that we really need to take a beat to talk about as well. And that is, simply put, that the president is an elderly man with a bad memory. If you look through the report, and I'm just still going through every page of this, but if you go through it, there is a detailed explanation here for why the special counsel's office decided not to bring criminal charges against the president. And at various junctures, the report mentions the president's memory and memory issues being a factor. For example, it says the president's memory was significantly limited, both during his recorded interviews with the ghostwriter that Evan was talking about in 2017, and in his interview with our office in 2023. It also makes a reference at another point in the report, Mr. Biden's limited precision and recall during his interviews, again, with the ghostwriter and with the special counsel's office. It also talks about how President Biden could present himself to a jury as a, quote, sympathetic, well-meaning elderly man with a poor memory. Now, I don't have to tell you that these headlines sort of write themselves as far as sort of the opposition and critics and Republicans are concerned. This has been an area of targeting by Republicans and the president's critics for a while now. You know, even this week, we have been covering the fact that the president has had a number of misspeaks, a number of missteps when he was recalling events from the recent past, when he was talking about meeting with different world leaders, mixing up their names and who they were, who was alive at the time and not. So in this way, I think it is just an important sort of framing and ammunition that this report offers to the president's critics, including, of course, former President Donald Trump.
But it doesn't stop there. The use of sensitive government information for profit, as detailed in the documents, raises serious ethical questions. It was revealed that Biden kept classified notebooks in unsecured locations, later using them for his memoir. This isn't just risky, it's a potential breach of national security. In response to these revelations, President Biden's public appearances have done little to quell concerns. In the press conference following the release of the special counsel's report, when questioned about his cognitive abilities, Biden's irritation was palpable. Watch.
President Biden, something the special counsel said in his report is that one of the reasons you were not charged is because, in his description, you are a well-meaning elderly man with a poor memory.
I'm well-meaning, and I'm an elderly man, and I know what the hell I'm doing. I've been president. I put this country back on its feet. I don't need his recommendation. It's totally out.
Wow. Even more telling was his interaction with reporters, where he defensively insisted on his memory's integrity. The contradiction between his assertions and the special counsel's findings couldn't be starker. Watch.
How bad is your memory, and can you continue as president?
My memory is so bad I let you speak. That's
your memory has gotten worse, Mr.
No,
President?
my memory is not good. My memory is fine. My memory, take a look at what I've done since I've become president. None of you thought I could pass any of the things I got passed. How'd that happen? You know, I guess I just forgot what was going on.
And then there was this moment when he just snapped. Watch.
For months when you were asked about your age, you would respond with the words, "Watch me." Many American people have been watching, and they have expressed concerns about your age.
That is your judgment. That is your judgment. That is not the judgment of the press.
They expressed concerns about your mental acuity. They say that you are too old. Mr. President, in December, you told me that you believe there are many other Democrats who could defeat Donald Trump. So why does it have to be you now? What is your answer to that question?
Because I'm the most qualified person in this country to be president of the United States and finish the job I started.
The emotional toll of these developments was evident when Biden, attempting to underscore his memory regarding his son's death, seemed to forget where his son's rosary was from. It was a moment that, beyond politics, spoke to a deeper, more personal turmoil. Watch this.
There's some attention paid to some language in the report about my recollection of events. There's even reference that I don't remember when my son died. How in the hell dare he raise that? Frankly, when I was asked the question, I thought to myself, it wasn't any of their damn business. Let me tell you something. Some of you have commented, I wear since the day he died, every single day, the rosary he got from Our Lady of... Every Memorial Day we hold a service remembering him, attended by friends and family and the people who loved him. I don't need anyone to remind me when he passed away or if he passed away.
Our Lady of what, Joe? Yeah. Biden's struggles with recalling facts were on full display, notably when he referred to the Egyptian president as the president of Mexico. Such gaffes, once perhaps dismissible, now take on a new significance in light of the recent disclosures. Here's that moment.
The conduct of the response in the Gaza Strip has been over the top. I think that, as you know, initially the president of Mexico, Sisi, did not want to open up the gate to allow humanitarian material to get in. I talked to him. I convinced him to open the gate. I talked to Bibi to open the gate on the Israeli side.
Wow. South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem, she reacted on Fox saying Joe only made matters worse for himself.
Only made it a much, much worse situation for him. After this report came out, he just came out and proved he has diminished capacity. He couldn't even refer to the right country with the right president and the right conflict and the right war. It was, wow, it was a lot.
Certainly was. Vivek Ramaswamy reacted to the press conference saying Biden's whole presidency seems like elder abuse, and then he declared Joe Biden a puppet. Watch.
We talked about the mistakes that he made, and this is my last question to you, Vivek. Thank you for coming on. We talked about the mistakes the president made tonight after trying to convince America that he had a sound mind. What struck me the most was his back and forth with a reporter where she was saying that America is concerned about your mental acuity, and he said, that's your take, that's your opinion, that's your... And it really wasn't, because it's been happening all day. Very defensive about that.
Look, it does seem increasingly like a form of elder abuse, Trace. I mean, this is a man who was clearly personally hurt, personally insulted, but didn't have the mental acuity to process or even communicate the extent to which he had been hurt or insulted. And so the reality is this man is a puppet. The puppet masters who are wielding him have lost their use, and it's really just a sad situation to watch play out in plain sight, where this is the president of the United States. This was a man who ran on a campaign to reunite this country. And I think that this is a chance for the Republican Party to now take that mantle. This man said he wanted to unite the country. He failed. He lacks the acuity to do it. I think in the Republican nominee, that'll be President Trump, we have an opportunity for someone with the acuity to say that we will unite this country. And I think that's how we're going to win this in a landslide.
Vivek went on to say that Biden will not be the presidential nominee. Watch.
Very bad day for President Biden. What do you think?
Look, I think the number one takeaway, Trace, is this. Joe Biden will not be the nominee. I said this last year. People dismissed it as some type of conspiracy theory. Today, I think it became that much more obvious. Play this out. Biden's own DOJ and special counsel is effectively releasing a report that undermines the case for him to actually be a candidate for the U.S. presidency, right as Biden's poll numbers are cratering. We have to do the math, skate to where the puck is going, not fall for the deflection. But I do think what they're planning for is to sideline Biden as the nominee, trot in a different puppet instead. That's the most significant takeaway from tonight.
Amidst this personal and political chaos, the calls for invoking the 25th Amendment have grown louder, not just from political adversaries, but from concerned citizens across the nation. The idea that the president may not be fit to fulfill his duties is no longer a fringe theory, but a mainstream concern. On Fox Business, Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene's assertion that we're in a national security crisis underscores the urgency of the situation. Watch.
I think we're in a national security crisis. If the man is not fit to serve trial, Joe Biden has not served a fit trial, then he is not fit to serve as president of the United States. As president of the United States, he carries around the nuclear football. I mean, think about that. He is making the biggest decisions on behalf of our entire country, not only our country, but in a large part, the entire world. Yet he's not able to serve, not able to stand trial for all the documents that he kept, not only as vice president, but also as a senator. This is extremely serious. I look forward to talking with Speaker Johnson and many of my colleagues. We need to look at possibly impeachment, but the cabinet should be invoking the 25th Amendment.
He's a sitting president, so he can't sit trial, right? But the special counsel is saying, quote, he spoke painfully slow. He struggled to remember events. He strained to read and remember his own notebook entries. That he didn't remember when his vice presidency began and ended, asking, quote, in 2009, was I still vice president? And his memory appeared hazy about key events. So you're thinking you're going to ask your colleagues to look into this more?
We have to. I mean, we absolutely have to. This cannot be dismissed. And look at recently at his speaking events where he's talking about speaking to people that have already died. His mental clarity, his memory, his ability to make decisions is extremely important as president of the United States. And the Democrat Party cannot hide this anymore. We have to move forward and do something about it.
But Congressman.
As if the situation weren't volatile enough, the prospect of Vice President Kamala Harris stepping into the presidency adds another layer of uncertainty. Her readiness and vision for America remain subjects of intense debate, making the potential transition a matter of national concern. Now, before we proceed to my final thought, an important message as we edge closer to the decisive 2024 election, it's vital to grasp the dynamics at play within our country. My latest publication, The Silent Coup, delves into the intricate web of political deceit and the manipulation tactics employed by the media. These are not just ordinary times, they're transformative, demanding that we equip ourselves with unvarnished truths to steer through the evolving landscape. Secure your copy now and take advantage of a very special offer exclusively for the fortunate ones who act swiftly. Stay informed, stay empowered, and join the hands in reclaiming our destiny of our nation. The link for your transformative journey is waiting in the video's description. Don't miss out. And now my final thoughts. In tonight's deep dive, we've uncovered a stark reality. President Biden's mismanagement of classified materials and his bewildering public appearances signal a presidency in distress. The documents and video clips we've shared reveal more than just lapses. They expose a leadership crisis that is igniting calls for the 25th Amendment. But the potential for Kamala Harris to step in as president casts an even longer shadow over our nation's future. Her presidency could steer us into uncharted, possibly even more turbulent waters. As November approaches, the imperative to unite behind President Trump grows stronger. It's not just about political allegiance, it's about securing a future that continues to embody the strength, values, and vision that make America great. Thank you for watching. If you share our concern for America's future and the urgency of the moment, tap subscribe and spread the word. Together, let's rally for a November victory that ensures our nation's helm is guided by proven leadership, safeguarding our republic against the perils of uncertainty and instability.
Congratulations, you made it to the end of the video. Now keep up your quest for truth with this next news report. And if you found our channel enlightening, join the millions who agree with you. Tap subscribe. Thank you for watching the Next News Network.